So I have asked you a respectful question with respect to the USMCA. Please answer that question.
100% we're maintaining that market access because we have to dig out of this deficit in ag we were left with. 100%. We've expanded market access. We're keeping the market access in Canada and Mexico. I talked with my Canadian counterpart yesterday. They did not say they're going to retaliate on what they're doing. The Mexicans know that we need to keep market access there. The nature of all of our trade deals over the past year has been expanding market access for our farmers, maintaining and expanding. That's what we've done. That's why we're back on the road to an ag surplus.
When you're talking about the open market in North Macedonia, I'm sure you're proud of that. The result, the reality is that we are now losing our global leadership to Brazil as a result of the failed trade policy with respect to China. And the punishment they have taken is a punishment against our farmers and ranchers in this country and American leadership when it comes to agriculture. That is the result of this trade policy, and I hope we do strengthen it with respect to the USMCA, and that you'll reconsider the broader picture as well, because this isn't just about that trade deficit. It's about what's happening on family farms all over the United States of America. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Whitehouse.
Thanks very much. Welcome, Ambassador Greer. We've had conversations before about foreign companies gaining trade advantage by being allowed to pollute to lower pollution standards than we require at home. And you have, and your entire team has repeatedly said that, yeah, that kind of behavior is a proper occasion for a tariff adjustment. Do you still believe that?
I do believe that, yes.
Okay, good. The multiple United States administrations have had a problem with enforcing environmental requirements in our trade agreements. I've condemned, I think, every administration since I've been here for crap enforcement, excuse my language, of environmental requirements. I understand that you are trying to improve on that. Could you describe the improvements you are pursuing?
Thank you, Senator, and I'm grateful for your leadership on this issue where we have a lot of agreement. One of the things we're doing as we're concluding these agreements on reciprocal trade is we are including requirements that countries raise their environmental standards to at least meet the bare minimum so that we can have a level playing field. So that's one thing we're doing. More recently on Brazil, we've had complaints for years, including from many members on this committee, about Brazil's deforestation practices, which actually give them unfair advantage over our farmers. And so we've taken Section 301 action on deforestation on Brazil, and we've taken a firm stance there. So those are just a couple of things we're doing. We're exploring. Yes, sir.
Continue to raise your game. Our game from this country has really been on the floor always. This is a rare area of agreement, and I think bipartisan, so keep going at it. On the question of tariff refunds, Rhode Island is a small business state. I think everybody has conceded that Americans actually end up paying the cost of President Trump's tariffs, which is why there are refunds going back. I have two concerns. We've spoken about this before. I have two concerns about the refund situation. One, if you're a giant corporation and you have an enormous staff that is capable of being tasked to go and pursue tariff refunds through CBP, great, you can go back and get your refunds. If you're a small business that got whacked by a tariff, it's not easy. And if you are that huge business that went back and got your tariff refund, there's no obligation that you push it through to your customers who actually ended up paying it along the line. It could end up just in corporate profits, CEO bonuses, and all of that. Could you explain what you're doing to try to make sure that the tariff refund process is more open to small businesses and to make sure that the tariff refunds paid for by consumers initially aren't just pocketed by CEOs as bonuses?
Thank you, Senator. So first of all, the Customs and Border Protection operates a website, a portal. From what I understand, it has a relatively straightforward user interface. If there was an importer of record, whether they were a foreign importer of record or a U.S. one, if they were able to file with CBP to pay a tariff, they can use this new website to recuperate it. So there should be, if there's a company that's able to pay a tariff, they're able to use this website to get it back. And if you have specific constituents who have had a challenge with that, let me know. We'll connect them with CBP because it shouldn't be like that.
I'll follow up.
On your other point, though, I don't concede that the tariffs went through to consumers. A lot of them were eaten by foreign companies. A lot of them were diluted in the supply chain. And the reason why they're going back, can I? Sir, may I? The reason why they're...
You can't, because I'm the one who has the limited time here. You're here all day. I've got 5 minutes.
You don't want an answer.
So that's why I want to jump back in. If, in fact, it's not paid by the American side, it would make no sense to be making refunds. So just your behavior with tariff refunds proves the point that it's not just paid by foreigners or foreign governments or China or whomever. So let me make that point. Last, let me just say that, Americans are having a real cost problem. And I think that some of that relates back to the tariff decisions. Anybody who's got a small business or who's going to buy something that has a component that is manufactured in Canada that now has a 50% added cost associated with it, I think is going to have a real problem. And I would urge you, and I think it's in your interest as an administration, try to help reduce the burden on American consumers by reducing the level of inordinate tariff assessments. So good luck with that.
Thank you, Senator Cornyn.
Ambassador Greer, on July the 1st, the U.S. formally declined to renew the USMCA during the joint review, yet, as you know, it remains in effect essentially with an annual review process. But what are we to make of the administration's decision to declining to renew the USMCA?
So, Senator, when you look at July 1, the options are you can rubber stamp the agreement and renew it without further revisions, or you can enter into this period, right, where we decline to renew and see if there are ways to improve the trading relationship. And so you should look at it in the latter way. President Trump already last year, some of the problems he sees in USMCA in outcomes, exploding trade deficit with Mexico, not enough auto investment in the U.S., some of those problems he has already started to address with the Section 232 action on autos. But there are a lot of things that we need to cover with Mexico, like rules of origin. We want to make sure that any beneficiary and any beneficial trade between our countries benefits our countries and not a third country like Vietnam or China.
So the administration wants to make it better.
We want to improve our trading relationships with Canada and Mexico. There are